My name's Jim Waldram, and I'm a medical and psychological anthropologist here at the University of Saskatchewan. I hold a joint appointment in the Department of Psychology and the Department of Archaeology and Anthropology, where I'm actively involved in both undergraduate and graduate education, particularly in my areas of specialization. For the last 20 years or so of my career, I've been focusing mostly in attempts to understand different forms of healing, particularly among Indigenous peoples throughout the world. My work originally began with Aboriginal communities in Canada. I've undertaken field research in more than a dozen Aboriginal communities over the years, as well as research in hospitals and in clinics, and most notably in a variety of different prisons throughout Western Canada. More recently, I've started a research project among Quechua Maya people in southern Belize. This project is, at their initiative, a group of healers that formed a loose organization known as the Maya Healers Association of Belize, contacted me through one of my former undergraduate students and asked if I would be interested in coming down and undertaking a research project into their healing practices. The healers themselves were particularly interested in having their work documented and explained on a global level. And through my undergraduate student, they had come to learn that I was an individual who had a certain expertise, experience in undertaking this kind of research. So we've been working with this group for the last 7 or 8 years, actively interviewing them. All the research that we do with them is designed by them. We have extensive planning meetings, and in which they basically form an advisory team. They let me know what they would like to have studied and how they'd like to have it studied. We have extensive discussions about the methodology that we're going to use. I like to throw out some ideas that they can entertain as well. And through a collaborative process, we determine what activities we will document, how we'll go about asking our questions, how deeply we can probe into some of the more sensitive issues. The work is constantly being brought back to them through a variety of consultative processes. We meet 2-3 times a year as a group to talk about the nature of our work so far. They give me new ideas, different things that they're interested in pursuing, and part of my job is to make that happen for them. So a particularly good example would be the project that we're currently involved in. Last year at a team meeting, the healers made a request that I help them produce a video that they would be able to distribute to schools and to government and to health institutions in Belize to help explain the nature of their healing activities, why they do what they do, and why it's very important that the government and the national medical systems work with them collaboratively. From that idea, we've been discussing over the last 8 months or so the nature of the video itself. I've gone about acquiring the necessary equipment, and we will commence the actual filming of the video later this spring. Okay. As an anthropologist in the psychology department, primarily my job, I see, is to introduce the idea of culture and the importance of culture in understanding human behavior. To that end, I've developed and I offer several courses particularly unique to this psychology department. The first one is known as Culture and the Therapeutic Process. The second one is a seminar in Aboriginal mental health. And the third one that I offer is a graduate course in Culture and Mental Health. My goal here is to allow the students in the psychology program to expand their horizons from a biological and a social understanding of human behavior to fully appreciate the ways in which culture is an important determinant of behavior and something that should be considered a rightful subject of psychological inquiry. In my other department in anthropology, I offer courses that are similar in some respects, but more from an anthropological perspective, where I teach a course in the anthropology of healing, and I also offer graduate level courses, particularly in the area of ethnographic methods and community-based and community-engaged research. community engaged research has become a particularly popular topic around the university in the last few years. Fortunately for me, I come from a discipline of anthropology where the discipline itself was born of community engaged research. And we've been working for instance, in indigenous communities for more than 100 years. So this kind of work comes naturally to myself. And I've been fortunate that I've been put in a position where I can communicate my experience working in community context and working in an engaged manner with a variety of different communities throughout the country. Of course, part of my responsibility here at the university is to train students both at the undergraduate and graduate levels. As part of my own personal agenda, I really like to bring students into research in a hands-on way. Okay? We can learn a lot about research from reading textbooks and journal articles and so on, but I think it's especially important that they have the opportunity to actually engage in the research process. Now this can be something as simple as working with original data that we've collected from a variety of different projects, right up to engaging in actual field research involving living in and working with a particular indigenous community, either in Canada or in Belize, where I have several projects running. In the latter case, in particular graduate students, it provides them a wonderful opportunity to fully appreciate all the dimensions in which anthropological work is undertaken in a manner that works to achieve the goals of the local communities as they understand and define them. So I find that as a particularly rewarding aspect of the job.